What up, people? Chef Boy R. Noland here. I don't know if you'll ever met my cousin. His name is Chef Boy RD. He's the ravioli guy. Please, guys, not literally. He's not literally my cousin, okay? All right, so back again. Today we are talking about writing equations from word problems. Yesterday when we wrote equations from word problems, we did the adding and subtracting. Today we're going to be doing the multiplying and dividing with keywords. Remember, when we are writing equations, we need a variable connected to a math symbol, connected to a number, equals a total, which is also a number. Now, I liked what Miss Burnett also told me that y'all are doing in science. It's the same thing as math. And that is the number in the word problem. The number in the word problem is being changed. One of the math symbols is changing the variable. So it's actually going to be changing this, which changes the total. So what y'all are doing in science is relating to what you're doing in math. Yay! Alright, so let's go ahead and get started here. Now we're going to talk about multiplication phrases. This first one says the product. Product means to multiply. Now yesterday, remember I had you put your variable, then your math symbol. In this case, product means to multiply, and then your number. Well, guys, multiplying and dividing is slightly different. When it comes to a test time, it's not going to separate it out like this. You have to remember, when a number is connected to a letter, just like here, how they are attached, this means to multiply. So when it comes to test time, star time, whatever it is, this is the way they're going to write it. So I want y'all to get used to writing multiplication just like this. The next is 1/3 of A. This word of means to multiply. So again, you take your number, attach it to your letter. So that's 1/3 of A. 1/3 times A. You'll see the word twice. Well, doesn't that just mean to multiply by 2? Yes, it does. So I'm going to take my 2 and I'm going to multiply it by J. There it is. So that is twice the amount of J, or twice J. 8 groups of D. Groups of. Keywords, groups of. So once again, take your number, connect it to your variable. That is what it's going to look like when you are multiplying. K 7 times. So you take your 7 and you're showing you're multiplying it by K. So your keyword here is just times. And the last one says 50 words per. The word per means to multiply. Now, I'm going to use, what do you want to use as your variable here? I'm going to use M for minutes. So it's 50 words for each minute. Okay. Alright, so that's multiplying phrases. Now let's talk about division phrases. Now, same thing here. We do not separate out when you're multiplying or when you're dividing. It's all going to be connected. So the word right here, quotient, means to divide. Again, some of y'all are going to do what I told y'all yesterday, which is your variable, then your math symbol, and then your number. Again, when it comes to test time, star time, they're not going to have it like this. Write your division in fraction form. So you put your variable over your number. Remember, this right here, when it's in fraction form, means to divide. M, shared or split 9 ways. So M, split 9 ways. And then finally, 120 divided into n groups. So n over 120. Notice where my variable's going every single time on my fraction. My variable's going on top. Keep your variable on top. Okay. Let's see if we can do a couple of these examples. The first one says the Nile River is the longest river in the world at 4,160 miles. A group of explorers traveled the entire Nile River in X days. They traveled the same distance each day. Write an expression to find each day's distance. Well, this is going to be a fun one. Let's see. A group traveled the entire in X days. Well, you take your distance. I'm going to call D for distance. And you're going to multiply that by X, which is the number of days. So I'm going to write this right here. D equals distance. X equals days. So I'm going to take my distance and I'm going to multiply it by the number of days, and it's going to give you a total of 4,160 miles. Okay, we can't solve this one. There's no other numbers over here, so this is it. It's your expression. Okay, next one. Carmen participated in a readathon. Miss Cole pledged $4 per book and gave Carmen $44. How many books did Carmen read? All right. So it's $4 per. What does the word per mean? Oh, right here. Per means to multiply. So I'm going to take my $4 and I'm going to multiply it per book. So I'm going to use B for book. So B equals book. So 4 times each book, and Miss Carmen gave her a total of $44. Now, if you want to solve it, just like before, you have to do the opposite operation that you see here. So the opposite of multiplying would be to divide. So this now cancels out, which leaves you with B. It zeroes out. And 44 divided by 4 is 11. So Carmen's going to read 11 books. There we go. 5 friends went out to dinner. They shared the cost of the meal equally. If each person paid $8, what was the total cost of the meal? Well, I'm going to use T. T is going to represent total cost. So the way you write this is, you take your total cost, T, and you're going to have to split that between how many people? 5. So the total cost divided by 5 people, and it gave you a total of $8. There's your setup. So again, total bill divided by 5 people, each person paid $8. Well, I got to figure out how much money the total bill was, don't I? Same thing, opposite operation. So the opposite of dividing here would be to multiply. So multiply both sides by the denominator. In this case, it is 5. Remember, what you do to one side of the equal sign, you must do to the other side. These two 5s are going to cancel out. They're gone. That leaves you with your variable. So total cost is equal to 8 times 5, which is 40. The total cost is $40. There we go. All right. Last one. Lee has scored twice. Keyword here, twice as many goals as John. If Lee's total is 14 goals, how many did John score? Well, we're solving for John. So J is going to be my variable. J equals John. Now remember, it says Lee scored twice as many. So the word twice means to multiply. So twice, or 2, times the number of goals John scored, because that's what we don't know, is equal to how many Lee scored, which is 14 goals. Oh, look at that. You got your equation. Now we just got to solve it. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! What's the opposite of multiplying by 2? Well, you got to divide by 2. So let's divide. Again, the 2's will zero out on this side. It leaves you with J. What's 14 divided by 2? Well, that's 7. So John scored 7 goals. Woo! Goal! Everyone with me. Just like in Miss Bush's room. Goal! Alright, I'm done. Alright, guys. I hope this video does help. We are going to move on to some practice problems on your own. Guys, if you're able to understand these one-step equations right now, this unit should be a breeze. But you must understand the vocabulary. Vocabulary is the biggest thing. It tells you what math operation you are doing. Okay? Alright, guys. You have a great day. I'll talk to y'all later. Chef Boyar Noland is out.